We understand an upside-down world. But they're writing us off before we get to the starting line. A stalled generation? Who do you think is gonna fix all this? We will, because our future is the future. So we're going to build bridges and hospitals in a day, and feed those left in the cold. We're going to do all this and more, because we have an appointment with destiny.
What's happening, sports fans? Welcome you back to another episode of San Diego Prep Insider. This will be the least professionally produced of all the episodes we ever do because we have a state champion here in studio with us, and yet I'm also trying to do an all CIF meeting on the same side of this camera angle. Not going to be used much. This is a mess. Also, we've got champs here. So Sam Pasqual is in with us, and they are please forgive me, gentlemen, the state NorCal, SoCal, all the different, once you get past CIF, San Diego section, I forget all the actual titles. What officially is the title this year state-wise? Which of the regions did you guys win?
I think it's called the Division II Southern Regional.
Okay,
state
sweet,
champs.
cool, wordy, but fun. All right, so left to right, let's introduce ourselves, starting with you, Coach. Name, grade, and position. For you, how long you been there? And guys, as we go down, name, grade, and position, please.
So John Burson, this is my 17th year as a head coach. I went to San Pasqual, and we've had a lot of great players, and these guys are right there with some of the best. So great way to finish it off.
My name is Ian Exline. I'm a junior, and I play like a wingback.
I'm Danny Barbosa. I'm a senior, and I play center mid.
My name's Charboy, and I'm a striker, and I'm a senior.
I'm Derek Reyna, and I'm a junior, and I play keeper.
My name is Brando Oros. I play center back, and I'm a senior.
My name's Diego Macias, and I do the media.
Were you ever a soccer player? And at what point did you realize you were not good enough to
I was never a soccer player, and that's kind of why I never wanted to try out.
So does he get a state championship ring out of this?
Yes, sir.
Better believe it. Better believe it. Best decision ever.
You scored some pens in training, so honestly.
No cap.
Wait, if he's scoring PKs, is that a bad sign?
No, it's a good sign.
That
like
just means that you've got so much talent. Even your media guy is better than us.
Yeah.
Right.
So should we put that on the poll at SD Prep Insider on Twitter, on Instagram? If your media guy is better than other teams' media guys, do you have a deep roster? Deal. All right. So we're what, 2 weeks away from being champs? You've had a little time to let this all soak in. What was this experience for? I know this is a very loaded question, but what has this experience been like for all you guys?
I mean, just a heavy experience, honestly. Like, as soon as finals were on, like, Saturday, no? As soon as we get back to school, it's just, like, I don't know, just, like, the vibe is just so different around with all the students, and you just feel all the eyes are there. But, yeah, even, like, going back to club, you're getting all the, like, oh, we would have beat you guys, like, all the, like, little salty comments. But, yeah, it's just incredible, especially after last year to actually complete the achievement that we never did last year. It's heavy.
It feels amazing. And going back to school was like being top dog and
yes, sir.
Like getting all the claps and like the handshakes.
So you guys actually got respected. You guys actually got treated well, because soccer is not football. And I know Sam Pasqual in general cares about sports. And Andrew Clark is one of our best friends at this show, and we love all things Sam Pasqual because of the admin there, and they're all great. But it can be like, hey, football can go 5-5 and can get ton of love on a Friday night, and you guys it can take until after a state championship. But you're saying at some point, adequate praise was received.
Yeah.
What was that like, finally getting that moment? Because did most people start to rock with you? Like, at what point did the bandwagon start to get full this season?
Like, as soon, I think the Cathedral game was when people were like, all right, like, we're actually good. It's worth coming out and watching a game. And I'm glad people realize it, honestly, because my hope is, like, for, like, Derek's senior year, like, and Ian's senior year, for, like, people to actually be going out to, like, even regular season games that like might not seem as important, but I mean like soccer, like the thing with it is like you could be playing in like a state final or like first regular season game, and it's like the same intensity will like just pop up anywhere. Like it's not like if you're just in a final and the intensity is obviously going to be there, but even in a league game, like it gets intense, really intense.
Yeah,
I remember
we had about like 1,000 fans out there for the final, which is great. But yeah, my hope is that it becomes like a social component, right? Like, going to football games is like the norm. And my hope is that we can get that with soccer, with the amount of fans that go there consistently. But yeah, we had a good fan base, and like the boys said, that kind of sense of accomplishment was great at the end, for sure.
Well, so Charboy, let's ask you then, did you receive this kind of praise and attention? Were there people just staring at you from point blank range? Or is this the most attention you have gotten? Yeah. Did people follow you around sniffing you on campus? No, but for you guys though, getting a lot of those people out there, I mean, that's energy that you feed off. Because soccer,
for sure,
for the external person, sometimes can be like a little hard to crack the code. Like, when do I cheer? What do I do? Is it all hype all the time? How do we ride the emotional wave? You guys are just like, hey, we don't care, quiet or not, give us everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's something you definitely feed off of, and especially big games. Like whether it's just you complete a pass or like you make a tackle. It's just the energy you feed off of, and the noise and just the presence. It takes a toll on your emotions when you're in the game, and hopefully, I mean, it's a positive way when people are cheering out and stuff.
Like I said, worst possible. We'll leave all of that in the final product of this. So you guys were talking about the hype levels that it takes to be champs. I'm curious who controls the hype internally for the team this year, and how we arrived at that person being in charge of the team hype. Like, who is our media guy over here the hype guy because he sets the tone with the edits, or is somebody?
I mean, yeah, honestly, he's got a big part of it. It's just like what the people see. Like last year we ended up on 650 followers, something like that.
Yeah.
Do you count follower success rather than rings?
I mean,
what would a state championship equals how many?
It's like a hand-in-hand thing. I mean,
so what I'm saying, if you didn't win the state championship and ended at 10,000 followers, you'd have been like still a successful season?
In my eyes, maybe. Yeah, it was just a lot of like last year. The hype guy was the media guy, Aiden Hess, and he did a really good job of that. And he kind of set the tone and just kind of made a blueprint for me to try and get the crowd as hyped as possible for the team, because I know that they feed off that energy. And the more that he set me up for success, the more it was easier to execute and get the crowd hype for these guys.
For you guys this season, when did it all internally start to feel like a championship team? I mean, did you the first day that you showed up at first practice, you're like, yo, we got something special, we just got to make it all click? Or was it a certain win this year? Was it not up until that final state championship game that you felt good? Like, what was that adventure?
Like, at least on my end, I know, like, it's a process. And, like, even, I joke with the boys and my coaches, like, my wife was, like, talking trash on our record. Like, early on, we were, like, 1-1-2. And she's like, what if you lose? Like, what's with your record? And so I'm like, I'm getting grief at home. So, like, it's not right from the gate, like, going into tryouts, we have
disrespect was palpable.
Right? Yeah, it's even getting at home too, from all sides. But like from tryouts, you see how much talent's there, but figuring it all, how the puzzle pieces fit together, it takes a bit of time, and you need some guys getting healthy and all those things. So I think getting some big results, like, beating Birmingham and, the Oceanside tournament was a big one. Just kind of validating what we already knew. Like, coming back as CIF champions, you got a big target on your back. And I don't think we were matching the levels needed, like, consistently. Like, we'd have a good game and then a down game, a good game and maybe a good, okay game and then a down game. So I think Birmingham and then going into January, where things started to snowball for us, and then it was just a matter of like everybody else watch out.
You guys experienced that any differently, or I mean,
Nah, I was gonna say the Birmingham game.
Yeah, me too. That's because for us, a Birmingham game was like a very big game because we beat them in the semi-state, and it was like a really close game, and we beat him 1-0 this year at the Oceanside tournament, and that like kind of determined that we had like a really good team, and that we clicked that game, but it was the whole season was up and down.
I would like to take the moment of us mentioning the Oceanside tournament to shamelessly say hi and shout out to Coach Frank Zimmerman. We'll test to see if this is his first time watching the podcast. I think in real time, about 7 minutes ago, he finally discovered that I also have a podcast. So we'll see, Coach. Shout out to everything you do for San Diego high school soccer. So you guys mentioned a big non-section tournament team in Birmingham. Not a lot of schools in San Diego run that gauntlet of like for a lot of teams, like we had Point Loma in here a couple days ago, and no disrespect to Point Loma, like the gauntlet of their season is Saints and Cathedral and running through league, and like that's usually the reference point with which San Diego teams look at it. For you guys though, playing an out of state, an out of section, big time opponents like that, is that what you guys want? Like, is that who you guys are as a team? You're like, hey, we want all the biggest, best, baddest opponents we can get? Or did you guys at some point in this season crave, like, why couldn't we get an Escondido charter and beat them 15-1 today? That would just be so nice. Can't we get a tomato can?
We're good with our one, battering of Esco of the year.
Deal.
Yeah, for sure. I think for me putting together the schedule, it's not just being doing well in our area. But I get excited to play teams out of the region. Like we played Perry in that same tournament. Unfortunately we lost in penalty kicks, but we got there shorthanded. But Perry won their state title in Arizona.
Yeah.
Facing San Clemente's. There's just a lot of great teams that we face, and that's what we look forward to. Frank does a great job putting together an excellent tournament, getting top talent from every which way, and then being able to beat a Birmingham or these other schools with maybe more resources than us. Really, I get hyped up for that just because like I take a lot of pride in who we are, and facing these teams who have big reputations. We want to be amongst that group for sure.
You guys have that reputation now, yes? You are state champs. This has solidified that San Pasqual is a soccer school now. Like
for sure. Yeah. Hopefully for everybody, especially like in our city, as Escondido, I hate seeing I know good soccer players that go to OG and that go to Esco, and I was like,
well, so can I ask, soccer, I think of all the high school sports, soccer is the one that has the most amount of kids that play club, but then not high school at all. Does something like winning a state title here help divert that in the future, or is that sort of a player by play? Like this, at the very least, helps build on the future, yes? In some way, shape, and form.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, not just it gives people from OG and Esco, and even kids that don't play club. There's this one kid, he plays for the Philly Union team. Yeah, when he's back from his break, Diego Rocio, he's in there training with us, having fun with us, and he's always saying he would like to get the opportunity to have the bond that our team has, and I think that's something that a lot of kids miss when they play for such high level clubs. They miss that bond.
Because all of you guys have some vague experience with going on and playing something beyond San Pasqual. None of you just only singularly play for San Pasqual, but yet you guys still accomplished something that's not going to make any of you guys worse at soccer this year. None of you are worse off. You didn't regress en route to winning CIF Player of the Year. Congratulations on that, by the way. Can I get your reaction on finding out that he lost Coach of the Year vote and you won Player of the Year vote?
I mean, it feels like amazing, after a hard fought season, every game, it feels good to get a reward out of it.
For you guys, we had half seniors here? Most of you guys are seniors?
Yeah.
what does the next year or two look like? Do we have some sophomores, some freshmen in the pipeline right now that we need to shout out, that we need to be like, hey, people, okay?
Yeah, there's just one of those sophomore right now in our group that we had this year. He's really good. His name is Joaquin Valadez. He's a really good kid. He's really good for, like, his age. He's not that big either, which is, like, really, really cool to see in him. You know?
What does not that big
Like-
mean in terms
like
of soccer? Because
muscular,
soccer,
like-
no, but I'm saying because soccer players are already kind of
Yeah.
clichély considered not that big. So is the kid
Yeah, no,
3'1",
like-
85
like-
pounds?
No,
Like,
he's like his height and like
He's a
and
little
like he's not
scrawny
that
boy.
muscular.
you
either,
just
so-
look at him and you're like,
He's not good.
he could
Yeah.
blow away. Like,
Yeah,
okay,
but,
deal.
like, he was really impressive this year. He was a really key player for us.
If he
like,
flops too hard, he might catch wind and fly away. Deal. Okay.
who knows?
Okay,
Yeah.
so so there is talent reloading. You
Yes.
guys are
Yeah.
coming back
Yeah.
for more. But you guys obviously get to enjoy the here and the now of winning a state championship. For the seniors in here, what do you think that this, or what do you want this to do? And I know this is a very open-ended, loaded question, but what's the legacy that the class of 23 is going to be leaving behind with this championship, with this season, with all the years that all of you guys put in? And I know, like I said, this open-ended, loaded question, there is no right or wrong answer, but what do you guys think or want the legacy to be? Cool jackets and rings? That's fine.
I mean, I think the legacy that we're leaving is like, or I'd like to leave is that, like you just can't, like, you gotta fight until like that last whistle. Like, that's like being an open-ended saying. Like, a couple kids on our team, shout out Isaac Rios. He was on JV, he was on freshman team. Sophomore and junior year, he was a starter, good minute player on JV. And this year, like, first year on varsity, cracked right into the starting 11 after 2 games. And, I mean, he solidified himself as one of the better wingbacks in San Diego. And, it's good to see somebody like that. You know, Isaac's such a good kid. And for him to put in all that hard work, and you would imagine, like, not much, like, motivation, like, oh, didn't make varsity junior year, all that. Like, he came with his senior year so strong and, like, all up for it with so much passion and fight that he deserved every minute that he played, and he did it with his best. Like,
So determination.
yeah, exactly.
And once again, I echo that 1,000% for Isaac. Like, he's one of my favorite players just because of that resilience to keep coming back and not be discouraged. And he was a key player for us.
But that Isaac kind of also represents this senior class
For sure.
as a perfect little metaphor, all nice and tied up with a little bow
But I
on
also
it.
think for some of these guys like Brando and Angel can make it, and Danny, some of these guys who've been on varsity for 3 years now, Chara included. Danny's only 2, but
You don't have to be that honest. Nobody's going to go fact check this interview. You could have held up a 4 there.
as sophomores, they made it to the CIF Open Finals, lost some penalty kicks. They come back the second, their junior year, win Open, get to the state final, lose in overtime to Servite, and then come back and win a state championship. Like, that's an impressive resume, for these guys.
But also feels like stick with it and determination,
totally.
because you could probably very easily have said making an Open Division Finals,
right?
hey, we did it. We don't need to prove that to ourselves again necessarily. Like, we don't have that burning fire. Like, the championship hangover is a real thing for some teams, where you'll get kids walking into it being like, oh, that's how it happened last year. It's just going to happen again for us, or whatever it's a million different things for a million different teams. But you guys have proven over the course of all 3 of those years, because you guys as freshmen did not have a season because of COVID.
No, we
No,
played.
Or you have had
like,
4 varsity
Yeah,
seasons.
like
yes,
we
okay.
won league, and then we made it to Open, but lost in the quarterfinals.
Okay, so but yes,
but-
okay,
but
so for
4
4
years,
years,
yeah.
all Open Division playoffs,
Exactly.
all a long fought slog, all 2 seasons of going all the way to a state champ. Like, that's a ton of soccer to stay with it, but then also to go out as champs. Kind of badass. Kind of not a bad way to draw it up.
Yeah,
And with a media guy too.
exactly.
And with a media guy.
Best media guy too. He does a great job.
Was there okay? So for varsity, I know there's already always tryouts. Was there tryouts for the media?
Yes, there actually was.
Okay, so tell me the story on the no, I feel like this is better. He seemed more enthusiastic to tell this.
So from the start of the season, I knew Diego was like, okay, you know, he's
got the fire.
He knows what he's doing. Like, he knows what to do. But he wasn't always around the scene junior year. It was
what does around the scene mean? Like, he just wasn't on campus enough, or like
he wasn't.
You got a girlfriend and you were off like.
He just like he wasn't. I don't think he knew that like he could actually like do it in a sense. Like the job was available, I guess. But so this one kid got the job, I guess, for I want to say 5 games. I think
and then he got the short leash. He got yanked.
he spelled LCC wrong.
LLC?
Yeah.
Okay, that's an autocorrect that your boy has done a million times.
Yeah, I mean, no, it was just funny. But yeah, as soon as Diego was like, dude, I could do so much better, you know, we added him in the team group chat and we're like, hey, you want to slide the Instagram password for this guy? Like,
did you have to audition? Did you have to send in here's my first edit and everyone had to vote, or like
it was a lot of I didn't feel like I could do it almost like or follow in the footsteps of
so determination permeates every aspect of it.
And then I sent the edits to the guy who did it last and he said they were awesome and then I just kind of ran with it.
So there was no like from 300 you like kicked him into a pit or something. You're like, my job now.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, but you know, I feel like my goal was kind of to just get this team as much exposure as possible and build off what they've been doing because it's a damn good team, and to be able to photograph and take videos and just be along with this ride, it was great, you know.
Well, and I do think, and this ages me a ton, but this ages all of us, is that you guys are experiencing high school sports very, very differently than any generation before you, and you have tons and tons of high-def photos and videos and cool coverages and podcasts and all that kind of stuff. So you guys are going to be stoked in 20 years. I can tell you as an adult when I have VHSs, DVDs, and mediocre printed photos to look back on, and I graduated high school 11 years ago. It's not that, like, it moves crazy fast. Apologies for my old man moment there. Let's close out with this. Coach, did you end up getting respect from the wife by the end of the season? Yes. Or do we need a spousal call out on behalf of all coaches that their significant other should put some respect on the name?
Yeah, her biggest excitement is that the season's over.
Oh,
you know, like she likes, you know.
So this is this getting swapped out for an open division ring?
Right.
Is that going to be an open division?
It's not going to go on top, but
that'd be a badass one that fits in there like that. Like, but have you guys designed the rings yet?
Yeah.
Yes?
Yeah.
Do we have a sample photo of what they look like? Because I will say this. I saw, and this is not trashing it. This is just open. It's art. Art is open to interpretation. Victory Christian came in here. Their basketball team came in here a couple days ago. They're going black rings. Going black diamonds with gold on it. And I was like, I don't know about that. I've never seen something like that before. So I'm curious what we got. So what do we... Oh, so that's like the exact opposite ring there. I like that. I like that. Who designed this?
I did.
Coach.
So
that's what's up. That's clean. That's clean.
I try to do all the gear.
Shield. I absolutely love that shield on there. I'm not gonna throw
your but the wife does respect. I can't do it.
If it's with this hand, I'd have thrown a strike. With this hand, I'd have thrown it out the door.
But yeah, I can't leave the wife hanging. You know, if she's gonna listen to it, I doubt it. But you know, we gotta make sure I give her credit.
My wife's a high school coach and has not listened to a single episode of this show, despite being on several episodes. So no, I get how it goes.
But yeah, coach of the year last year, I'll take it. I guess, you know, I can't be too upset not getting it back to back. But we did get Tara and Tanner last year as back-to-back CIF players. So.
And a couple of dudes on all CIF and a couple of rings and a couple of championships and a bunch, Coach. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Really, really congratulations. Guys, all of you deserve to walk around with a ton of pride for the rest of your lives knowing everything that you accomplished this season. Thank you for representing San Diego well at the state level and kicking some ass at that state championship. Thank you guys for tuning in. And what is it? Just go Eagles, or what? Is there there's no saying specifically for the team this year?
Dale Eagles.
Dale Eagles.
Dale Eagles.
God, man, every time I get put in some Puro Cedro or Dale Eagles or something like that, that just shows that it's not lighting. I am this white. Until next time, sports fans, we'll talk to you soon.